Did you know that Ghana grows one of the best specialty coffee beans called Robusta coffee since the 19th century? Yes, an exquisite coffee beans that boast a unique flavor profile and high quality. In the 1980s, the government of Ghana decided to set up coffee plantations to increase coffee production in Ghana. Although this attempt to commercialize coffee beans failed, smallholder farmers living close to the borders of Togo and La Côte d'Ivoire and had benefited from government's capacity building in its attempt to set up coffee plantations still went ahead to grow these trees because there was already market. This, over time, has become a niche market in Robusta coffee beans in the global coffee industry, making Ghana a West African country with the best quality Robusta coffee beans. With the global coffee market valued at $34.1 billion as at the end of 2023, and the potential of land, labor, and a required climate, Ghana can inch at a share of this market. This is why coffee roasters like Benedicta Tamaklo of Bean Masters is helping coffee farmers and communities by identifying their needs and facilitating a solution through a cooperative called Sustainable Coffee Farmers Association.
I'm Benedicta Tamaklo. I'm the founder of Bean Masters Coffee and also the president of Sustainable Coffee Farmers Association. We work basically in the whole West District with women coffee farmers and also men in coffee. We try to do gender balance because of the activities involved in cash crop farming.
Ghana's geographical location and climate conditions makes it a prime location for cultivating exceptional coffee beans. Warm climate with consistent temperatures, abundant rainfall, rich fertilized soil are essential elements in growing high-quality coffee beans. More complex and developed flavors in the beans is as a result of high elevations and altitudes, leading to slower and gentle maturation processes.
My background is from Volta region, the whole West District, Weta. We grow coffee. I've harvested coffee before, but the maximum stage I've seen coffee was it's in its green form. I never knew it's further processed into a beverage and all that. In 2016 thereabout, I had a meeting with a potential investor, and the meeting was in a coffee shop, and I saw brown coffee. I was surprised and curious at the same time. That led me to come back to the village to ask questions. What happens to coffee after it's green? There I was told it's sold to other buyers that take it outside the country. I started investigating as a curious person. I mean, what are the challenges? I saw that it had a lot of potential, but at the same time, it had a lot of challenges also. So I decided to use my knowledge and background in business management to try and see how best to help alleviate some of the challenges that they were talking about. I saw that even in doing that, there was more to be done than they were even talking about. So basically, we got the interest from advice from friends. We decided to properly enter into the sector, because it is only when you are within the sector that you can be able to see the challenges firsthand and know how to help solve some of these challenges. That's how come I entered into coffee.
Bean Masters is a coffee roasting company owned by Benedicta and is one of the various coffee roasters who give coffee farmers in Ghana a reason to continue farming coffee.
Basically, as Bean Masters, we ethically source coffee from women coffee farmers that we work with in the cooperative. We roast in the form of beans or in the form of coffee grounds. We pack and sell mainly in the Ghanaian market. So currently we have two main products that are FDA registered. That's the Nyogbo blend, then we have the coffee bags. Now during COVID, we realized that a lot of people wanted to take healthy products and also were curious in experimenting with different things. It was a very ripe time to introduce new products or new cultures to the people. But the challenge was also getting an affordable coffee machine to be able to use the grounds. We looked at the concept of the tea bags. We decided to also bag the coffee in an easy to use, easy to go kind of. That's how come the coffee bag concept came about, and it's now a registered product and it's accepted by mainly office workers because they just have to put it in their flask, add their hot water, and they are good to go. They are getting the right antioxidant, they're getting the right caffeine level to go and work with.
Nutrition experts from Johns Hopkins University School of Medicine also say coffee drinkers are less likely to die from coronary heart disease, stroke, diabetes, and kidney disease. These experts also say a cup or two a day of coffee helps to ward off heart failure. The caffeine in coffee is linked to a lower chance of developing Parkinson's disease and helps those with the condition better control their movements. Their research again shows that coffee drinkers are more likely to have liver enzyme levels, which has a protective effect on the liver, and are 26% less likely to develop colorectal cancer. In addition, women 65 years and older who drink 2 or 3 cups of coffee a day are less likely to develop dementia. Coffee seedlings raised in nursery are carefully planted at the beginning of the rainy season and are given a strong balanced framework through trimming to stimulate fruiting, which most likely begins at the 3rd to 4th year after planting.
To enter into coffee, one must have a mindset. It's a cash crop. It's not like a maize or tomatoes, it's a cash crop. Previously, it used to be like 7 years and over like cocoa. But currently, because of research and better developed seeds, to get commercial yield, like from 3 years and above, you get commercial yield from planting.
Sustainably increasing agriculture productivity and incomes, adapting and building resilience to climate change, reducing or removing greenhouse gas emissions where possible are the 3 main objectives aimed at tackling climate smart and sustainable farming employed by Sustainable Coffee Farmers Association and Bean Masters.
We encourage climate smart and sustainable farming. So every activity that we do is basically to help them achieve this sustainability in their coffee gardens or coffee plantations. I will divide coffee planting into stages. So let's say the first 1 year after picking up from the seed garden, first you need to get shade trees. We have permanent ones, we have temporary ones. The temporary ones, we recommend the use of plantains to, one, for its economic purposes. You can sell the fruits and get some more money whilst you wait for the commercial use. But there are other economic trees which can be permanent, like the xylopia, what we know as wintia, and any other crop that will not have adverse effects on the seedlings.
Examples of other shade trees are Inga species or ice cream bean, Erythrina species or coral trees, Arabica species and shade-grown leguminous trees. These have nitrogen fixing capabilities which enhances soil fertility. Revelia robusta or sulky oak trees. They have deep root systems that helps prevent soil erosion and improve soil structure. Their flowers also attract pollinators which benefits coffee production. Shade-grown coffee produces the highest grade of coffee beans with a superior flavor in the beans. It is usually sold at high prices as a specialty coffee.
So you just do the cultural practices. You slash or weed in as we normally know it. You prune where necessary. The harvesting has to be properly done so that you don't lose the eyes, because the eyes that will fruit the next season.
The time and harvesting of coffee is crucial because it affects the quality and taste of the final product. Coffee beans are ripe when they turn from green to deep red or yellow. The best time to harvest coffee depends on the type of coffee plant and the desired flavor. Arabica coffee matures in 9 months, and the right time to harvest Arabica coffee is when the cherries are deep red and have a sweet aroma. Robusta coffee, on the other hand, takes 10 months to fully mature and is best harvested when the cherries are dark red in color.
Basically, you make sure you leave the eyes intact for the coming seasons, because these are the eyes that will bring new fruits. If they die, they become empty. Like the way these ones are less on it, it means some eyes have died. These eyes have died. So it means the picking wasn't done properly. So you have to make sure you pick and leave the eyes on it like this, because they will bear fruit coming season. Some are overripe, some are underripe. You resort and separate them. You don't throw them away. You can separate them and dry them separately. You take them to the drying mat and spread them out thinly and evenly to allow air to flow through and also sun dry. Okay. You make sure you cover them in the evening so that dew will not influence it, to prevent the buildup of aflatoxin, which also can affect the taste of the coffee.
Drying reduces the moisture content of the beans, which is critical for preserving their quality and preventing spoilage.
The moisture content should be between 12 to 13%. Okay. One of the local ways of checking it is to just shake it. When you hear some rattling, you know that it is properly dried. Then you can keep away for some time if you are not in a hurry to sell. Okay, so after that, they hull.
Hulling removes the remaining outer layer of the coffee beans after drying, including the parchment. Hulling is an essential process that prepares the coffee beans for roasting. In Boeta, coffee farmers who want to sell their coffee to markets in neighboring Togo hull their coffee using an outmoded but effective mechanized system. We also have off-takers like Ali, who buy fresh coffee from farmers and hull using a state-of-the-art hulling machine before export to Lebanon and other Middle Eastern coffee-consuming markets.
So the first step is loading the coffee into our pneumatic conveyors. After loading the coffee to the conveyors, it will be sent through to a pre-cleaner and a distoner. Here, the pre-cleaner will remove all sticks, twigs, leaves, any big materials from the coffee. And here we will get all the stones removed from the unhulled coffee cherries. Later on, the coffee will be sent through this belt conveyor to the main part of the machine, which is the huller. The huller will take the coffee cherries, separate the husk from the real coffee beans. Then all the husk will be sent back, thrown away. The good coffee will fall into this gravity separator. Here the gravity separator will remove unhulled coffee from hulled coffee, or it can remove some coffee defects from the good coffee. All the bad coffee will go back inside. The unhulled cherries will go back to be hulled. The bad ones will be thrown away. After this, all the good coffee that was chosen on the table will go through these chutes, which separates the coffee by density. We see here, these are the good coffee beans, which are to be sent later to the size grader. Then at the size grader, we'll load our coffee here and it will be sent to this machine here, which has some type of screens, perforated screens, which have sizes. It will separate our coffee to, let's say, in Ghana we separate to two sizes. Grade 1, which is 15 plus, grade 2, which is 12 plus. Then the coffee will be sent here to the chutes, as we can see here. A grade 1 and a grade 2. Grade 1 means a bigger bean size, grade 2 is a smaller bean size. From here, we bag, we seal, we roast, we export.
Ghana produces about 10,000 tons of coffee and has the potential to produce 50,000 tons of the beans if given the support it requires in a time when the country needs all the gross domestic product index to cushion it against external economic influences.
Last season, after sourcing from probably 3 or 4 regions from Ghana, from the Ashanti region, from the Bono region, from Brongahafo, from Western region, from Volta region, from Eastern region, from Oti region. All that work we were able to do around 2 20-feet containers, around 30 tons.
If an investor into the coffee industry in Ghana is only able to export 30 tons of hard coffee beans, actually 1.5 20-feet containers, then governments of the Fourth Republic have caused incredible financial loss to the state and should bow their heads in utter shame. Coffee is one of the world's most traded commodities, and between 2022 and 2023, 8.5 million tons of coffee was traded globally, amounting to $21 billion. Yet, Ghana exported 154.8 tons of coffee, which is just about 8 20-liter containers in 2 years, valued at $387,000. This is very embarrassing from a country that has what it takes to have done better and contributed to its GDP in order to improve the standard of living.
Farmers face a problem. Farmers grew coffee before, but most of them had to cut the coffee because there were no exporters. There was no one buying their coffee, especially in regions that are not like Volta. Voltarians take their coffee to Togo, and Western region they take it to Cote d'Ivoire. But let's say the Bono region, they have nowhere to take it, and there were no buyers. I've actually visited some farms and they told me they just cut their coffee, went to cashew or another cash crop because there were no buyers. Hopefully with the help of Cocoa Board and some other programs, we are pushing more seedlings, more nurseries, and with the help of Sustainable Coffee Farmers Association in Volta region, we're able to distribute thousands of more seedlings to push farmers to plant more, give a better price for farmers so they get encouraged and plant more coffee.
The development of the coffee industry in Ghana is part of the mandate of the Ghana Cocoa Board, and providing seed gardens is a very important intervention the board is dedicated to.
This is a seed garden that was given to the cooperative or the association by Cocoa Board. Well, we had challenges picking seedlings from Saviekwe all the way down to this place. So the car comes to the edge of the community, then it's only motorbikes that can come up, and it's a challenge to bring seedlings, about 20,000 seedlings, all the way here with motorbikes. And the demand was more than 20,000, but we could only afford 20,000 because of the labor-intensive nature. So we approached Cocoa Board through the director at Saviekwe, and he managed to get us one seed garden here. We have one also in another community down there. Here we did a minimum of I think 20,000 or so. But this year we've done over 100,000 or so seedlings for the cooperatives. So, per my knowledge, what I know as regulators of the coffee sector, that's Cocoa Board, they've done research into better resistant species, better yielding species that would help farmers to gain more. Beyond that, they also have the seed production unit that does the multiplication of seeds, setting up of seed gardens for farmers. And beyond that too, some of us call their researchers to help us with challenges beyond the seed production level. Like if we see any new changes in the leaf or something, we call upon them. They come around sometimes to come and check and give the best advice they can. Sometimes they do it virtually. Because of WhatsApp, you can just snap what you are seeing and they can give you technical advice right from their office. And I think they've helped develop manuals through the support of ITC for the post-production stage.
Coffee farming generates significant income and creates rural employment that gears towards achieving the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals 1 and 2. That said, Sustainable Coffee Farmers Cooperative was born out of the desire to find solutions to the needs and challenges of coffee farmers across Ghana.
So going around in my research, I realized that individuals had similar challenges, communities had similar challenges. So decided that the best way of reaching maximum or more people is to bring them together, and there's strength in unity. So we brought them together. Those who had more knowledge on the coffee production, we brought it together. Those who had more skills, we harmonized the skills to look at the best practice that will help everyone. So that is one of the motivation factors that brought about the coming together of people into a cooperative. And as you are together, you have better bargaining power, you have better means of reaching organizations that are far beyond an individual's level. And to be frank, we'll be able to get the attention of our regulator, that's Cocoa Board. We'll be able to get the attention of ITC. They've come to do trainings upon trainings. They've supported in bringing seedlings to farmers and a whole lot. And that's some of the power of being in a cooperative.
Sustainable Coffee Farmers Cooperative is changing the narrative with how much coffee Ghana can produce through trainings, advocacies, resources, market linkages, and sustainable coffee farming.
We are trying to get bees to help with the pollination. It's a project that if we get any investor or developmental organization that has interest or skills in that, we would like to work with them to come and train the farmers in beekeeping and help get some beehives so that to help in pollinating the coffee, and of course to get some honey to sell to get more incomes. Beyond the sustainable farming, these are some of the things that we can also add.
Coffee farmers can also generate income from other crops whilst they wait for the coffee season. Orange, lemon and cocoa trees are ideal crops coffee plantations can grow alongside coffee trees. The existence of growing Ghanaian coffee brands like Kawamoka, Gold Coast Roasters, Jamestown Coffee Roasters, in addition to Bean Masters, are enough reason to know that it is possible to make coffee an undeniable cash crop in Ghana.
Ghana has the potential, has everything. We have the land, we have everything needed to grow coffee. It's just a little push to encourage farmers to grow more.